Welcome to the Frisco Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Barron, Editor-in-Chief of Lifestyle Frisco. And today we have Ann Anderson of Anderson Insurance Agency in Frisco, along with Thor Anderson, a founding partner, veteran partner, and key member of the business. So let's chat. I'm excited you're here. We love our Frisco-based businesses.
Thanks for having us today. We appreciate it.
You're very welcome. We're proud because you have been a client of ours for a while. We love knowing you. We love hearing your story. You give back to the community. We're going to get into that. But give us a little snapshot first of how you became an insurance agent, because you weren't always, correct?
No. First 20 plus years of my career was in financial services on the other side of the transaction, I guess you could say, in the mortgage side and title insurance. Started off actually as a bank teller many years ago, making $9 an hour, and I thought that was a lot of money. So
it was actually probably
back then 100 years ago. So I think we have an entrepreneurial bend in both of our families. There's a lot of self-employment, and it was something we were always sort of looking into. And there was an opportunity about a little over six and a half years ago. Something happened, and so we were able to kind of start investigating it more diligently. And then a little over 5 years ago, I guess July was 5 years technically. It was a little before that we actually started the business, but our anniversary with Farmers was in July and was 5 years. So.
And didn't you open a new space recently?
We did. So that's one way to celebrate 5 years, right? Is to get retail space. So we've been in an executive suite, so a little 120 square feet office, and just trying to control those hard costs for the first few years. And then an opportunity came up. We were able to get about 1,000 square feet in the same building. So we didn't have to change our address. Our Google map stays the same. Yay.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a big thing. And we were able to do that in July also. We actually moved in about the third week of July. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a huge milestone.
Huge milestone. But building in space is sort of like moving into a new house. Mm-hmm. So it actually is bigger than our first house.
That's a great part of the story. I love that.
Yeah. So our first house was 600 square feet, believe it or not. So we kind of,
Was that in Frisco or elsewhere?
It was in California.
Okay.
And we felt very fortunate to have that 600 square foot house.
I'm sure. Now, Thor, your background is?
Well, I was got out of the Army in 1986, and I've done many different jobs. Then I went back to school in my late 30s, and I got a degree in physics. And then I was a high school teacher. I've taught algebra and geometry and pre-cal and calculus and chemistry. And my last 3 years were teaching AP physics at Frisco High School.
That's wonderful. Well, first, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think that's exciting that you were a teacher in Frisco. Wow. But you retired.
I would say grading was always a hassle, but working with the kids and just trying to get them to learn and just being exciting is always something. Watching that light come on is always an exciting event.
Wow. Okay, but you've stepped away now to join your wife.
Yes, I have. Starting in June, I left the teaching world in June, and I've been with her ever since. And I'm still learning, but things are going well.
I think that's so nice that you're supporting one another, working together, that you're both here today to talk about the business. I love that so much. So let's get into what's going on currently with Anderson Insurance. And let me back up. We published a few articles for you of late, and I found them so intriguing because I think our audience, you hear the word insurance and you think insurance, blah, blah, blah. But there are some really insightful things to discuss where your business is concerned. I think we did one about things that you need to insure that you may not have thought of, such as your grandmother's Hummel collection or whatever it might be, And then we did the one recently about what to happen if there's a catastrophe and you weren't prepared for it. And so I think our readers and watchers should know that they need to go out to our site, type in Anderson Insurance, and find these great insights that you have. I think people underestimate the wisdom that you possess that we need. I really mean that sincerely.
Well, thank you. Well, I think we kind of think insurance is just one of those things we have to deal with.
Right.
And it can really be your best friend. And it's sort of like you don't want to think about it after the catastrophe happens. You hope that you never have to use your insurance, but if you do, you're glad it's there and you put it together the right way. And when you have an agent that you can sit down with and talk to and they'll listen, that's one of the benchmarks of our agency is that we really listen to our clients and we listen to what they don't say also, trying to make sure that that they are thinking about the things like Grandma's Hummel collection, or we had a client recently who has an extensive coin collection that's worth many tens of thousands of dollars. And so you have to address that differently. And it's important, for us to look out for that, because when something bad happens, it just needs to be a bad day. It doesn't need to be something that's life altering. And with the right insurance, you can make that happen. So.
Oh, wow. I love hearing that. That's a great phrase. That doesn't have to be life altering. So what else? What else about your business do people not know that you offer?
We, of course, when you think insurance, if you think cars, houses, umbrellas, we insure things that you don't think about. Wedding rings are a big one that we always forget to insure separately. They're usually not covered under the standard limits in a policy. And so we always ask that question. We also insure businesses. One of the things that we really enjoy is actually helping small businesses. I have a client actually that we've insured him from day one when he opened his business. And I feel like we celebrate with him every year, that he's in business, he's doing really well. And we talked about his business on our social media. We do everything we can to tell people about their business. And I love doing that. Whether it's he has a comic store in Frisco, Doc's Comics. Go there and buy presents.
Good. No, that's good.
Or,
plug him.
We also have a client, Bar Social, which is it's a yoga
Fitness,
and bar
yes.
fitness studio. So those are both. I love working with my different commercial clients. I just think it's really important. Again, partnering with small business and shopping local, very important to us. We also offer life insurance, and things that people don't also think about is pet insurance. Believe it or not, we care about your fur babies. So,
I like that.
And we offer flood insurance in Frisco. People think flood insurance, but it's a thing, and we actually have flood zones all around us. So we offer that. But we just like to say we're a full service agency. We're kind of addressing all the areas that are of concern to our clients and our neighbors. Yeah.
I love that you're so Frisco business centric. That was difficult to say. Frisco business centric. Very supportive, because I think we have a great community of entrepreneurs and local business owners who seem to be very supportive of one another. Go team, we can do this. Let's help each other.
Yeah.
So what does that look like for you?
So for us, being Frisco centric, we love our city, first of all. And I think you'll see us all over. So one of the things with Thor joining the business is allows him to pursue some of his passions. When he was teaching, he spent so much time at the school. Now he's very involved with American Legion, which is near and dear to his heart. And I'm involved in the auxiliary at American Legion. So that's something that we've been sort of had our fingers in. Now we're kind of more jumped in that pool. But we also support Frisco Fast Packs, Melody of Hope. We're actually sponsors at the gala there, and we're supporting the Empty Bowls Frisco that's happening in February. We're a collection site for Frisco Fast Packs. So if you want to drop off donations for them, you can do it on the east side of town, right on Preston Road, which makes it really convenient for people. We also, right now, we try to focus on something every month. There's always nonprofits, something's going on. So we did a lot of supporting during the month of October with National Breast Cancer Foundation, but right now we're collecting toys for Tots. So we have a box at our office, so anybody can stop by. Again, we're right on Preston Road, so drop off a new unused toy and we'll get it to the Marines. We're partnering with 2 Men in a Truck to get that done.
Oh, great.
So one thing that I think that I really appreciate is that in Frisco there's always an opportunity to partner with other businesses, so you don't have to go it alone, and that I think is a big deal when you're an entrepreneur.
And you can make more happen. You can you maximize your capacity to make an impact.
Yeah, absolutely. On my own, it would be really hard to collect the gifts and, just all the details around it. But say with Toys for Tots, I know that 2 Men in a Truck are doing that. So I just call Carolyn and say, hey, bring a box to our office and let's be a collection site. Things like that, or partnering with Frisco Fast Packs. Same, just we'll be a collection site for you. And that makes it real simple. People can stop by,
That's wonderful. Thank you for doing that. Because, again, on our site, if you go to, you can just go to giveforfrisco.com, and Frisco Fast Packs is there, Melody of Hope is there, and others. And those we have some amazing, dynamic local nonprofits.
Absolutely.
And just some real busy individuals out there. And that Melody of Hope Gala is at Verona Villa, right? In
Yes.
December 1st?
December 1st. So the same day as Mary Main Street. So
Right.
so we have we're also involved. I'm involved with Sunrise Rotary. So there's all these different things always on the same day. We have that collision of all our parts of our lives, right? But Thor's going to be at Mary Main Street with the American Legion.
Oh, good.
That evening, and I'll be at Melody of Hope with Denise from our office. So she and I'll go to the gala, and that'll be a lot of fun. So
That's good. That's just how it
Divide
is
and
this time
conquer.
of year. Oh, absolutely.
It is.
Divide and conquer. But when you're this involved in the city, that's going to happen frequently, I would imagine.
I think it does. It does.
Well, so tell us a little bit about you personally, because I think when someone goes to find their insurance agent, they like to know them personally. They like it to be somebody that they trust, that they feel comfortable with, they feel understands them, is a part of the community. So let's get to know you personally a little bit as well, so that your customers and future customers can know you. So tell us about your family.
Okay, so Thor and I have been married 31 years. Right?
Ooh, I love
31
that.
years.
Wonderful.
Little 31.
Nice.
I was 10 when we got married. Just kidding. We have a beautiful 20-year-old daughter that's in college and a almost 17-year-old, 16-year-old son who's at Frisco High School.
Oh, good.
And so he's a junior, so we're almost through the parenting through the school years, or until they get to college. We have 2 toy poodles. We love our fur babies. They are part of our family, absolutely. We have lived here in Frisco 14 years. 13 years. So anyway, it was Christmas time when we moved here.
Oh, wow.
We transferred with work, but Frisco is our home. We love our city. My family is, my father was in the military, so traveled all over, but we call San Angelo, Texas home because we lived there the most when we were growing up. Thor's from Bismarck, North Dakota, born and raised, so he's a huge NDSU Bison fan, so we hope to see them at the FCS game.
Oh, right, of course.
In Frisco. We have tickets, just saying. We're hopeful.
Good for you. Yeah.
But we are very involved in the city, obviously, as we've said, but also involved in our church. Has been our faith plays a huge part in a lot of the decisions we make. That's our worldview, is a faith-based worldview, and so we are very grateful for all the opportunities we've had. We like to travel. I guess I'm trying to think what else you'd like to know about us.
I want to go back to the church. What church are you a part of?
We belong to First Baptist Frisco. It's on Main Street.
Okay, well, faith-based perspective is my worldview as well, and so I just was curious to know where you're so involved. That's wonderful. They do a lot in the community as well.
They're very involved in the community. It's funny because you partner with people and you just find that the people in your life or in your circle, they all kind of, one of the things that we love that the church did recently is they had earmarked, I want to say it was $100,000 last year. They've given $1,000 to each school campus, no strings attached. They just presented them each with $1,000, every school in Frisco. Oh. So I thought that was so incredible because they really do want to be, Frisco first, because they're on Main Street. The church has been in Frisco since the beginning. And so I just thought it was so great for a church that's been around for so long to really be hands and feet in the city, doing something that the schools needed, which was just to give them cash to the schools that they could use it however they wanted. I just thought that was so brilliant.
It is great. They truly want to be a part of the community. I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, so because I know it's important to you, tell us, please, Thor, more about the veteran community in Frisco. And were you at the parade last weekend? Or was that 2 weekends ago now? I'm losing track.
I was in the parade, or I was at the parade. In fact, I was carrying the Texas flag and the honor guard.
Oh, I'm happy to know that.
I remember the honor guard for American Legion. I'm also what they call the first vice commander, which means I'm under the infamous thumb of Fred Rogers. Fred Rogers is the chairman or commander of the American Legion. He is very active in the community. I mean, he seems to be everywhere and know everyone. And he's just an amazing young man, an amazing man who just is always.
I'm sure he likes that. Yes.
We were discussing age. Him and I were discussing age the other day, but no, he's just an amazing person. I'm also involved with the Frisco Chamber Veterans Council.
Oh, good.
So we're trying to help direct businesses to get involved with hiring of veterans and becoming veteran friendly, becoming veteran aware, be more proactive in hiring veterans. There's this community is so amazing. Jeff Cheney's really reached out to the veteran community with allowing he also has these the mayor's Veterans Council, and the exciting things are going on with that. I will say that our VFW and our American Legion are one of the few posts that do not own a bar. The city has actually reached out to both of our organizations, and they have allowed us free of charge the use of the senior center. So therefore, almost 100% of any money we take in goes back out into the community for veteran services, and that's for both of our organizations. So that's something that the city of Frisco has really supported us with.
I'm happy to know that. That's so important, and I'm proud of that for our city. That's
I think
wonderful.
something that people don't realize, and I don't know if it's not public knowledge, but veterans actually will contact them when they need assistance for something.
Wow.
So they don't have a huge fund, but they, they are able to really help them in a practical way, which is, I think, is really important. And they also have 2 great programs, Boys State and Girls State, which are phenomenal education programs for the youth. Right. That happen in the summer.
And Boys State, Girls State are, that's going around forever. I was an alumni of North Dakota Boys State in 1980. One of our members of the American Legion is a member of Hawaii Boys State in 1964. So it's one of those things that even the military academies, when they're looking for a new acceptance, one of the 2 things they look for is if they're an Eagle Scout or a Boys or Girls State member. So those are really, really exceptional things. They go down to they all meet and they form a city, state, and local governments, and they develop. They learn all about citizenship and Americanism and things like that.
Oh wow, we could use a lot more of that, huh?
It's really cool. They create a city government and a state government, and they actually pass bills, and it's phenomenal. And like he said, it's almost an entrance into almost any college when you have that on your resume as a incoming freshman. It's phenomenal.
And we're just now starting the selection process where the counselors are recommending at least 3 boys and 3 girls for every school, and then now we're going to go and interview them. I'm not part of that selection committee, but
the Frisco schools.
The Frisco schools.
Wow.
Each school gets to send. They nominate 3. Last year we spent 22 kids. This year we're 22 boys. This year we're hoping to send 25 boys.
I think we sent 11 girls.
And we're hoping to send 16 girls this year. Of course, the cost of it is about $500 per person. So that's money that we have to raise elsewhere.
Right.
Also, we just did, the American Legion was also just recently helped with the NAMPOW convention here in Frisco. I don't know if you know about that, but it's the Vietnam Prisoner of War Convention. It was their 45th convention, and they asked us to support them and help them with all that. And they were at the Omni this summer, and it was quite the event to see some of these Vietnam veteran prisoner of war. Some of them had spent 10 years in prison war camps.
I would imagine that must have been incredible.
And then through that process, we were able to get several books written by them, and we donated them to the city library. And the city library has just recently opened up a Veterans of War section.
Our library is awesome, isn't it?
Really good.
Oh my goodness, good. That is so good to hear. Well, I'm going to ask the 2 of you, since I'm the editor of Lifestyle Frisco, to please keep me informed about things that are going on with the American Legion and the other veteran activities that you're involved with, because I think it's very important, and we would love to support, promote events, let people know what's happening. We would love to help with that. So
thank you.
Keep me posted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to go full circle back to Anderson Insurance.
Yes,
although
absolutely.
I'm very happy that we've touched on all these different aspects of your involvement with the community. How can people find you? So if they are perhaps not entirely happy with their current agency, feeling uninformed, unsure, insecure in any way, and they want to shop for a new one, how can they reach you?
Sure. All right. So, and it's very interesting you say it that way, because there was an article, I think it was just a couple years ago, but it's still very relevant. I saw an update on it, but over 75% of people feel that they don't have the right insurance that they need, and they don't trust that it'll do what they need it to do if they have a claim. So we never want our clients to think that. And so the way you can find us is at AnnInsuresTX.com. That's our website.
Perfect.
You can also find us at 6500 Preston Road. We're on the back of the building.
Okay.
So
on the first floor,
on the first floor, we have the first floor space, Suite B11, but it's 6500 Preston Road. It's right kind of in the center of Frisco, right between Wade and Rollator, on the east side of Preston Road, across from all the big lots that I'm sure will be built into something beautiful soon. So that's where you can find us, or at, I always say we're all over town. We have Melody of Hope coming up, and we have the Frisco Arts, the art, Thank Art.
Yes.
What is that?
I know what you're talking about. It's Heartful, I think.
Heartful, that's
art.
it. Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So we're we love the arts. We're involved with that, and I will be there. I don't know if Thor's going. I think he has an American Legion something that night. So, but if you're ever, we're all over town. We work out at Cowboys Fit. We,
I don't work there as much as I
not
want
as much as we want to, but we're, New Year's resolution perhaps, or December resolution. But anyway, you can find us at chamber events. We're both rolling, like I said, we, all around the town. And so they always stop and say hello if you see us.
One of the things I like to add is that when Ann was thinking about going into this business, and she asked me what I thought about the insurance business, and I said, well, we had an agent in Utah. His name was Jeff, and he looked out for us all the time. I mean, he's always calling us, making sure that if we were a couple of days late on our payment, he'd check with us. He made sure that we went through our policies once a year. We call that an FFR.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Make sure you have the right coverages. Make sure you have the ideas. I'm amazed. I shouldn't say amazed, but I'm troubled by the fact when some of our customers call us up and say, well, you're just too expensive, but they don't discuss what they're changing. I mean, people they have a $600,000 house, but they can save $150 on the insurance, but they don't know if maybe that's a good deal and you should go with it. And I'll be happy to tell them that.
Right.
But sometimes it's, they're actually losing coverage, and they're not going to know about that until the major life event happens.
I will tell you. No, I'll say one thing that I think is, it's key to our lives because of Jeff's work with us in Utah, and watching out for us. He, when we had our daughter, he said, you really need to change your life insurance and look at it more seriously. So I did a different sort of life insurance policy at the time. The, cash value inside of that policy allowed me to open our business because it was the starting that and some other money we had was our buy-in basically. So, it's kind of funny. We would have never thought that when we bought that policy, but that was a good agent who looked out for me and said, because you're now a mom, you need to look at this differently. You need something permanent that's going to grow cash inside of it. And then that cash turned into a farmer's insurance agency. Isn't that full circle and crazy?
And now you can send the kids to college and all of that.
We're still working on that part.
Everybody is.
5 years old. 5 years in.
I know.
It's life goals. Yeah.
Well, that's really important to think about. What I'm gathering is that it's crucial to have a conversation with your agent.
Absolutely.
And not just run through the list, check what I had on my policy at the last place, before I switched. I think, so if someone, you said you're all around town, and I know because I've seen you all around town, but if someone just hops into your office at 2:00 on a Tuesday, will you be there, or do they need to make an appointment?
Well, we'd rather an appointment, only because we have other appointments. Sometimes I'm, making a podcast in downtown.
Right.
You never know. But usually we're there, or someone is there.
We also have in our office Denise Karras, who's absolutely amazing. She's been in the insurance business for 20 years, something like that.
Very long time. We're fortunate to have her.
She can help.
She could have that conversation.
For that pop in too.
Yeah. I would definitely say, especially during the holidays, please make an appointment.
Sure.
Because we tend to get really busy, but also we love you and your families, and we love our families too. And so our hours are a little bit different. We're going to work remote a little bit.
Sure, of course.
Because we have that opportunity. Phones will forward to us. It'll look kind of seamless if you're calling in or emailing, but we may not be physically at the office.
I can appreciate that. Yes.
we always say, an appointment is always best. But if you pop in, and people do, we are usually there. And, sometimes it's 5:30 on a Friday. Not my favorite. I'll say I'm just like everyone else. But if you come in at 5:30 on a Friday, I'm probably there, and I'll help you. Be glad to do it.
I understand completely. Well, I know firsthand that you are a very friendly, warm couple. And I think anyone would be very fortunate to sit down, have that conversation, know that you'll guide them and help them feel secure about their coverage. So we encourage everyone to do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for spending time with us and for being one of our favorite clients. We appreciate you very much.
I love what Lifestyle Frisco is doing. I love the online magazine platform. It is great. I look forward to my 5 for Friday. And who to know? I always I like that email. But I just really remind everybody that we are coming up to the end of the year. So it's a great time to remember all the nonprofits. And I know that we support a lot and we do all that we can. But, don't forget Toys for Tots, Frisco Fast Packs.
Frisco Fast Packs is once again, for the last 3 weeks, is the first time they've been on, they have kids on a waiting list. There's about 30 kids.
That just shouldn't happen in a community like ours.
It shouldn't, because what they're asking for are things like canned vegetables and top ramen noodles.
Right.
How cheap is a little 12-pack of ramen noodles? It's not even 50 cents a thing. I think they're 25 cents each. I know. It's just crazy.
And you could just drop it off at 6500 Preston Road.
Right. Exactly. And the more drop-off locations there are, I think the more awareness there will be. And Heather Canterbury's working so hard.
She's working so hard.
She's the executive director. Amazing person.
Yes.
So good. I'm glad you gave them a shout out, and we will continue to do the same.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
This was a great conversation.
It's a lot of fun. Well, thanks.
I appreciate you both, and I'm not exactly sure when this is airing, but let's just say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy New Year.
We'll cover it all.
Right.
Thanks.
You're listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.